Today on Tracey's Basement, we've got Forgotten Folios Project Open Sky Part 3. Welcome back to the basement, welcome to the channel if you've never been here before. Today I have another Forgotten Folio. This is Project Open Sky Part 3. So, right off the bat, if you have not seen me do parts 1 and 2, I will link to those videos in the description box below. You should definitely go and check those out first, because this Forgotten Folio system, the multiple packages compile a story, so it will make a lot more sense what you see come out of this envelope if you see what came out of the first 2 envelopes. So I will link those below. You should definitely check them out first if you haven't seen them already, and if you don't, you're probably going to be a little bit confused because this is a compilation of a story. These packages all go together. So I'm not going to get into a big explanation of what Forgotten Folios is. If you don't know, check out the links in the description box below if you want to look into it, or again, go back to my first video. My second video goes into it a little bit deeper. All told, you should watch these in order. It makes more sense that way. So, I'm not going to do a big recap like I did last time because it's getting to the point where there's a bit too much information. But overall, Project Open Sky has to do with Pat Bailey, who created a machine for sending ciphers of some kind. There's Morse code involved. It's during the war. There's a young lady named Ada who came from Germany and was like a cryptology prodigy. So there's all these little bits of information. It's really, really interesting. It's all true story. It's kind of forgotten information, basically, is what Forgotten Folios does. So that's overall a general idea of where the story stands so far. And I have the third package, but first I'm going to go back to something from the second package. If you guys remember, there were 2 sheets of Morse code, just 2 full sheets, well, 1.5 sheets of Morse code. So I mentioned that I might try to translate that. I did go ahead and do that. A few notes. If you're going to try to translate Morse code, make sure the page is upright. Because I was some awful confused at first getting this gerbil nonsense before I realized that my page was upside down. So I figured that out, got it decoded. I have so much respect now for anybody who ever had to actually translate Morse code by hand, because I used an internet program and it still took like an hour. So, I have the translation. I'm going to read it to you guys for possible information and clues. Bear with me because certain things kind of repeat over and over again and there's no punctuation, so I'm not necessarily sure where sentences begin and end. But let's give it a try. There might be some important information in here. So, begin emergency broadcast. Process broadcast, process begin. Breach in perimeter circuit. Process broadcast and breach process. Begin proximity warning process. Broadcast and breach and warning process. User is in proximity. Broadcast and breach and warning and proximity process. User responsible for breach. Run check process. Broadcast and breach and warning and proximity and check process. No other users present. No other changes in environment. Usable responsible for breach. Process, broadcast, and warning and proximity process. If user responsible for warning, then responsible for proximity. Checksum process, checksum broadcast, and proximity process. Query user process. Broadcast and query process. User identified as a new user broadcast and new user process. New user identified as Commander Sam Forrester, United States. Broadcast and new user process query. Query new user about process. New user is not process broadcast and new user process. New user introduces greater than one distinct process broadcast and new user and distinct process. New user identifies distinct process agent Matthew Holden, CIA. Broadcast and new user and distinct process. Distinct process, Agent Matthew Holden, CIA, identifies program Operation Paperclip. Broadcast and new user and distinct progress. And query process, new query, what is Operation Paperclip? Broadcast and new user and distinct progress. And query process, distinct process, Agent Matthew Holden, CIA, reports Operation Paperclip is redistribution of resources from Europe to America. Broadcast and new user and distinct process identifies emergency broadcast process, broadcast and new user and distinct process. New user disables emergency broadcast process. So that was a mouthful. So basically what it comes down to is there was a Commander Sam Forrester from the United States, and then there was an Agent Matthew Holden, CIA, and he identifies Operation Paperclip to redistribute resources from Europe to America. So, all told, that's what this giant wall of text read. So that was the translation of the Morse code from Parcel 2. Now, let's get into Parcel 3 and see what we've got. Again, lovely script, wax seal. I just love the look of the envelopes. They're just, I don't know. There's something about waxed seal and actual ink that is classic and pretty and mysterious and fun. I love it. So let's see what we have in package 3. I saw a little card here somewhere. Okay, we have a business card from the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. CST, what is... Constable Arthur Smith, Security Services, and it's got the address and everything there. So there you go. So, yay, Canada! Royal Canadian Mounted Police. We have another memo from AEG Bailey Incorporated. This one looks like it was crumpled up, like maybe it was thrown in the trash and then somebody took it back out. So we have 2 AEG Bailey ink from that German name again that there's no possible way I can even try to pronounce. Attention all employees. Subject police investigation. Okay, here we go. All work belonging to Benjamin DeForest, Pat Bailey has been catalogued for immediate review by AEG, big long word, personnel. We would like to thank the employees of AEG Bailey Inc. for their assistance in this matter. If any employees find material relating to Benjamin DeForest, Pat Bailey, please inform your manager and send all relevant files to the AEG, extremely long German word, head office, attention Project Open Sky. We regret to inform the staff of AEG Bailey Inc. that an employee has been apprehended by the local authorities. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police are asking for our cooperation in this investigation, and senior management have already been informed to turn over any information about Mr. Mateo Rodriguez. So this is the guy from the previous package who was writing to a friend and complaining about finding all these Morse code, and he was basically filing, and he was upset about it because he thought he could do more for the company. If you have any information about Mr. Mateo Rodriguez, please contact Mr. Arthur Smith through the Security Service Department of the local RCMP detachment immediately. Failure to do so may result in dismissal from AEG Bailey Inc. and possible criminal charges. Have a good day. I'll bet. So that explains the little business card from the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. So this poor Mateo Rodriguez is apprehended. I guess he must have been looking too closely at the Morse code, which I also went through. And we have some more transcriptions from the early online internet chat. This is the third sheaf of papers from that chat. There is quite a bit of information there, so as with the other ones, I will read through them quickly and give you guys a rundown of what's going on in here. So what this section of the chat basically seems to all boil down to is that Ada has vanished from the chat. The Stephen who was talking to her in the previous 2 sections of this chat, he says if we all wanted to apologize. If you're curious about the broadcast recording we found, we'll be putting them online for our members as part of the story. We thought you might want to hear them, and the web address for Forgotten Folios. So I guess this is actually I was assuming it was an older chat, but early, because in the first package they do mention early chat room, early internet, but now that I'm actually looking harder, I probably should have looked harder, there are dates in up at the top of each message. So it did actually occur last year, and this was a chat room where basically there was role playing going on, but this Steven kept going in to try to talk to Ada. Now he's trying to apologize for bothering her, I guess. I guess Steven is from Forgotten Folios, because he's saying if you want to check out the story, we're going to have it there. And Ada is not replying. There's just a couple of pages of other role players commenting on the fact that she hasn't been around. So I guess Ada was not impressed, maybe, or I don't know, but she appears to be gone as per this conversation. So the third package basically shows us that Ada has taken off somewhere, and we have the card from the Royal Mounted Police, Constable Arthur Smith, and we have the memo from Bailey Incorporated from back in the day saying that Mateo Rodriguez had been apprehended for whatever he was doing with the documents pertaining to Pat Bailey. So that is what we have furthering the story for this package. It's not too much, but enough to be curious. I'm really curious as to what is going to happen now to Mateo, because in the previous package he seemed like he was just an awesome, nice guy that was able to immigrate to Canada and was upset that he wasn't being able to do more for the company who had hired him. So yeah, I'm really interested in what's going on with that. Can't wait to get into the fourth package and see if there's going to be any further information, anything that kind of brings the story a little bit more to a close. So that's very interesting. I don't know what more to say right now because it kind of opened more questions than answered anything. So in the meantime, let me know what you guys thought of the part 3 of the Project Open Sky Forgotten Folios story. Let me know in the comments section below. Let me know if you've got any ideas as to what's going on. Let me know what you thought of my translation of the Morse code. So many words. So many words in that. Let me know in the comment section below. If you've enjoyed the video, give me a big thumbs up, share with your friends, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. You can also follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Snapchat at Tracey's Basement. Links in the description box below, and links down there as well for if you are interested in Forgotten Folios, or if you're really confused, go back and watch those first 2 videos. I told you, you should have watched them in order. And as always, guys, keep coming back for more Tracey's Basement. Bye!